So I've got some family and friends asking how my hydroponic experiments are going. I'm trying to get back into doing some small scale gardening, and since I'm not very good at it, I'm trying out some different things that'll hopefully help me stop from killing all of my plants. We shall see. So here's my mini rail setup. It's doing pretty good. Got it all pieced together, plugged the plants in. Haven't really had to touch it since. The lettuce is starting to take off. The spinach is doing okay. Um, I've had a caterpillar or two chew on some leaves. That's fine. Just trying out the concept here. So we're going to make some burgers tonight. I'm going to cut off some of the leaves for that, and I'm sure that'll work out great. Here's our Dutch bucket tomatoes. They're starting to take off too. As they get taller, I'll anchor them with these strings hanging from the pergola. If they get really big, I may have to space them out a little bit more to avoid fungal issues. It's really humid here in Houston and they can have problems with that. I've drilled holes every 6 inches in the drain pipe so I can move things around a bit. If I do have to space them out a little bit more, then I'll have to move some of the buckets off of the bench and water those ones by hand. The less these plants are dependent on me, the more likely they are to survive. So I want to keep the watering automated as much as possible. I put these little valves on each of the 1/4-inch tubes that feed the nutrient solution to each plant. That's just so I could adjust the flow if I needed to, but so far it hasn't been necessary for me to restrict it in any way. My last little experiment here is a bucket where I'm trying out the Kratky method. It may not look like much, but I've already harvested lettuce leaves from this plant 3 times so far, cutting it almost all the way back, and it keeps growing back. You can see it here next to a regular potted lettuce plant, and I've also harvested lettuce from that plant as well. This bucket is just a container with nutrient solution. You fill it up and drop the plant in the top, and then you leave it alone. And I'm really kind of surprised at how well it's been doing. It just keeps growing back, and it's lush and green every time it comes back. So I plan on doing more of these in the future when I have the space and the time. So that's how things have been going. So far, so good. There's a bunch of different videos on YouTube on how to put these 3 different systems together. You know, there's not a one perfect way for any of them. My favorite resource is MHP Gardener. He has a way of simplifying these things so that someone like me can understand it better. Anyways, we'll see whether these things can survive a hot Houston summer, and if not, I'll try something different later.